Hey, what's up everyone? This is R13 and let's get started. So, on today's video, we are reviewing the real grade Sinanju, released back in 2016 and made an appearance in the Unicorn Gundam series. Now, this unit is piloted by Paul Prontal, a little bit of a spoiler, believed to be the clone of Char Astable, the Red Comet. Now, this unit here, quite interesting. But before moving forward, special shout out to the sponsor of this video, Sci-Fi Anime Montreal, for providing me with this beast here. Now let's move forward, shall we? Now the first item that we are going to talk about are the parts here. The first ones are the clear effect parts. You got the short version of the beam tomahawk, the long version, two beam saber effect parts. You got two beam saber handles or hilt. Then you got your beam rifle with a grenade launcher attachment, and then you got your Sinanju shield here, and comes with the beam tomahawk there. Oops. And then it comes with an open left palm and a pair of real grade hands here, articulated. And then you get an extra piece here for the palm, for the hands, and then you got full frontal, the mini version. Let's see if I can focus it. Nope. Okay, so those are the extra parts, nothing else. And here you go, the Sinanju frame. This is actually quite a nice build, to be honest. A fellow colleague of mine at Gunplay YouTubers actually mentioned to me that the Sinanju frame actually shares the same frame as the Gundam Mark II. So I did a little bit of digging and managed to find the manual for the Gundam Mark II, and they are practically the same, which is actually quite nice. And I am not surprised at all if Bandai actually used the internal frames, either most, some, or all of them, for other kits as well. And got to admit, it is actually not a bad idea, cost effective as well. Now, definitely there are no loose parts here. It's actually quite nice. At first I thought that I may have some issue at the waist area here, but so far so good. Now all you have to do is push that in. There you go. A little bit of shake test. Now let's move on, shall we? Now when it comes to the armaments of the Sinanju here, it's actually quite interesting. Now the first one that is actually quite simple, the 60mm Vulcan gun that is located in the forehead. Now the next part is the beam sabers, a pair of beam sabers located at each forearm. Now you get two features here. You can leave the beam sabers on the forearm and be its own weapon, or the basic handheld beam saber. And then the next part is your custom long shield. Okay, now this is actually quite interesting because this unit here definitely have multiple features for the shield here. Now here's the shield. As you guys can see, you can see the grenade launcher attachment. You got your beam axe here, and this is an articulation test here right away, so we can actually move this out of the way. So this is what it looks like in its standard form, but if you want to turn this into what I call the shield axe, is all you have to do is rotate, and as you guys can see, it's actually quite nice, and you can actually just showcase the weapon of this unit here, and it can throw in a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, which I'll explain shortly. And then for the beam axe itself, you can actually turn it into two other forms, a pair of beam axe handheld or a beam naginata combined. Yes, and then last but not the least, the beam rifle. Now the beam rifle, you can actually install the grenade launcher, or if you have it, the rocket launcher. Now I actually do not have this in the Sinanju here, and I think I have one on my high grade. I don't know if I can actually install it on the real grade beam rifle here, which is still quite interesting. I'll be honest, there are actually a lot of interesting features that this unit have, and definitely quite nice. Now the next part that I do want to mention is the other features that this unit have. Now here's one of them, which is the attachment for your action base, so you can actually install this easily without any issues. Now for the other features this unit have is the external propellant tanks, the psychoframe feature, and used by full frontal. Now this unit here, quick history lesson, it was actually used as a test bed to produce Unicorn Gundam. Yep, that's how interesting this unit really is. Now let's move on to the articulation test, and this is going to be a quick one. Now for the articulation here, we're gonna start off with the shield here, and as you guys can see, it's quite nice. Multiple pieces here. There's your beam axe, you got your grenade launcher, you got articulated parts there. Same goes for the beam axe, and you can actually rotate this. And then you got the real grade hands, which is articulated. Now the one thing that I will be honest to you guys about is there's a lot of issues with this unit here when in regards to the articulation, and you guys will definitely see it right away. Now for the backpack here, let's remove this. Okay, so there's definitely a good articulation here, and some of the features here there, as you guys can see, which is actually quite nice. But there are actually a lot of loose parts, and that's actually quite sad. Now this one here is the shoulder piece. As you guys can see, I just pulled this out easily. It doesn't snap on. Yeah, it kind of holds on a little bit, but it will definitely fall off. Now this part here is articulated, as you guys can see there. Now for the shoulder here and the arms, definitely some articulation, and it does fall off, like there's some gaps there. Then you get your beam savers there, and then for the headpiece, it is loose actually. And then for the waist there, that's how far it can go. For the waist and the torso connection, this is for the for the side skirt. This part here pulls out, the side skirt. Then the front skirt got limited articulation there, and for the back skirt here, okay, now we get the problem there. Not being rough, but it actually ended up falling off there. Yeah, this is actually another problem. And for this part here, you actually place your beam rifle at the back here, which I didn't show in the feature, but there is actually a slot there. Okay, and yeah, that is actually the situation when it comes to the rail grade here. There's actually a lot of loose parts. This one here is for the legs. Now you can be, yep. But to be honest, this is actually a really good build here. There's just actually a lot of loose parts and a lot of knobs, and I mean a lot of knobs. Okay, so there are really good articulations here, really nice features, but they are actually quite hard to pose because there are parts that will fall off and you have to be careful, and it took me a long time just to do that special feature, over an hour. Yeah, so but overall not bad at all. But I'll mention to you guys my final thoughts after I piece this beast back together again. So here are my final thoughts regarding this unit here. Is this unit worth getting? Maybe. Okay, so as you guys can already tell during the testing there, some of the testing, this unit is a do fall apart easily. Yeah, so if I actually did a real shake test, there will be pieces flying. Yeah, which kind of sucks. And then on top of that, the thick knobs is a real issue with this unit here, because one wrong move you ruin a specific piece, and I did try my best. Now of course I actually did enjoy building this unit here. I actually had a blast, but then at top of that, I did had a lot of frustrating moments there, especially with the chest pieces here, the red piece. It took me a couple of hours pulling it apart, putting it back together, trying to figure out why it won't snap fit. And I ended up just cutting certain pieces internally just to actually make it into a perfect fit, and right now it doesn't even fall off, which is a win for me. Now I don't plan on posting this anytime soon. During the future, it did took me a lot of effort just to post it where it was, and it will stay as is. Now I really do like the Sinanju here. I will give this a 6 out of 10. Would have been a 4, but the 6 because even though it took me a lot longer, I did learn a lot about how to fix certain problems, certain issues go around it. Now this is definitely 50-50 for me for getting in the future. Now if they do release the Sinanju Stein in real grade, I will definitely get that. Okay, so that's all the time that we got, guys. Special shout out to Sci-Fi Anime Montreal for providing me with this beast here. Really appreciate it, man. And I will leave the link in the description below so you guys can check them out. And again, have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. Remember, have fun, relax, and enjoy. That is Gunpla. I will see you guys on the next video.